Good evening and welcome to week 11 of Football Friday Night. I'm Dave Ciseski. He's Tony Quach. Dylan Tyson will join us later in the show. Tony, 448 high school football teams begin their postseason trek tonight.
That's right, David. What was that one thing that Jim Mora once said? I think it went along the lines of, playoffs? Are you kidding me, man? We're talking about playoffs? Anyways, we got an action-packed show tonight, but we'll kick things off with last year's state champions, Marion Loco. The Flyers are flying high tonight as they ride a 42-game winning streak into the opening round of the postseason. Tonight, they welcome in the Tri-County North Panthers. We start things off in the first quarter. The Flyers lead 14-0. Justin Knopf connects with Victor Hosher, and he will go into the end zone for the TD. The Flyers take a 21-point lead after the PAT. It's now 28-0 Marion Loco as Knopf shuffles it off to Parker Hess. Can this Flyer Jr. go all the way? Ladies and gentlemen, yes, he can. That touchdown gives Marion Loco a 35-point lead. They go on to win 63-0.
We wrap up Region 28 with St. Henry Redskins taking on the Riverside Pirates. On paper, 14 versus 3. However, when you play in the MAC, wins are hard to come by. First half, St. Henry offense was clicking as Charlie Whirling passes it to Curtis Putoff, who runs down the sidelines with a burst of speed for 36 yards and into the red zone. That play sets up Ryan Werley for the 7-yard run into the end zone. Touchdown, Skins. How about the St. Henry defense showing up? Michael Gonzalez with a pick with the assist from his teammate's helmet. St. Henry offense would cash that in for points. Charlie Whirling passes to Hayden Beckman for the touchdown. St. Henry wins 28-5.
Heading over to Auglaize County, Minster welcomes in Bradford for an opening round showdown. The Cats are looking to bounce back from a nail-biting Week 10 loss to Versailles. Minster leads 37-0 in the second half. James Niemeyer finds a fellow junior in Dylan Heitkamp. He has a clear path into the end zone for the score. The Wildcats now lead by 43. Later in the half, Niemeyer takes to the skies. And on the other end is Noah Schwederman, and the sophomore hauls it in. Minster rolls to a 50-8 victory. Lehman Catholic falls to Cedarville 42-28, which means Marion Loco will host the Indians next week. Then we have New Bremen shutting down Cincinnati College Prep 35-0, which sets up an all-MAC quarterfinal battle between the Cardinals and the Minster Wildcats. Our final score from Region 28 sees Fort Loramie defeating Southeastern Loco. They'll meet St. Henry at home next week.
Lima Central Catholic coming into tonight, winners of 5 of their last 6 ball games, in prime position to make a deep run in the playoffs like they did last season, making it all the way to the state semifinals. However, in their way tonight, the 8-2 Ayersville Pilots. And that's why this is our Football Friday Night Spotlight Game.
The Football Friday Night Spotlight Game is brought to you by D&D Trucking.
Speaking of Ayersville, team on the rise with their 4th straight season, top in the previous year in win totals, including 8 victories this season. However, taking on the surging T-Birds tonight. How about the first play of the game? Carson Parker calling his own number, following his blockers up the field. There was nothing but end zone ahead. T-Birds setting the tone early, up 7-0 on the big-time run by Parker, 67 yards. Next drive, Parker hands off to Matthew Quatman, who takes it up the middle for the 4-yard scamper. LCC up 14-0. Beginning of the second quarter, more offense. Parker passes to Quatman, who takes it in for another score, 9 yards out, extending that lead to 21-0. And then right before the half, how about some more? Parker, once again, the 1-yard strike puts them up 28-8. T-Birds go on to win 42-20. We now send it over to Dylan Tyson, who has more action from Region 26.
Thanks, Dave. And hey, a big win for those T-Birds. They're always playoff juggernauts. The same could be said for Leipzig since 2009 until they missed their first playoffs in 13 years last season. Well, now the Vikings are back in tournament action against Putnam County rivals Pandora Gilboa. It's the second meeting between these squads this season. Week 3 in Leipzig, the Vikings knocked off PG 21-14, but tonight we're on Rocket Turf, a familiar spot for these former BVC foes, but it's the first time they're meeting in the playoffs. After halftime, Vikings up 14-13, but the Rockets start with the ball, and it's a quick liftoff. That's Corey Girton connecting with Isaac Stahl. No turbulence on his way to the end zone. PG's out in front, 19-14. Later, Leipzig threatening to reclaim their lead. It's 4th and goal for the Vikings, but nobody's open in the end zone. The senior Dalton Durst secures a critical sack for the Rockets. They take over inside their own 10-yard line. That always spells trouble for an offense. And whoa! Snaps over the quarterback's head. It's rolling into the end zone. Rockets fall on it to prevent a TD, but the Vikes do get the safety. Now 16-19. The Rockets get it back and orchestrate a textbook drive, eating up 6 minutes and capping it off with 6 points. The 10-point lead is all PG needs. They avenge their regular season loss 33-24, and they'll take on the region's top seed, Hopewell Loudon, next week. 8-2 Upper Side of Valley makes their 4th straight playoff appearance, but looking for just their 2nd ever postseason win. And in Macomb, well, that flag speaks for itself. The 8-2 Panthers have been a perennial playoff powerhouse, winning 3 straight opening rounds, and they're in position to do so again tonight as Braxton Althauser breaks loose and takes it more than half the length of the field before being brought down just short of the end zone. This on just the Panthers' 2nd play from scrimmage. And Althauser punches it in himself on the very next play. Panthers up 7-0 after just 3 offensive snaps. Later, now 14-zip. USV's threatening though on 4th and goal. Alex Sanders fires, and Maddox Underwood, the diving fingertip catch. What a play! And the Rams punch in the 2-pointer, so they trail 14-8. But Macomb gets the ball back, and boy, did they drive. Just 6 plays to put 6 more points on the board, and it's Althauser again, putting the Panthers up 20-8. They go on to win 53-22, their 2nd playoff win over USV in 4 years. Macomb's now primed to play the winner of this next matchup, where undefeated Waynesfield Goshen seeks their 3rd straight season opening round win and their 2nd consecutive 11-0 campaign. Tigers waste no time to get on the scoreboard. Eden's pass intercepted by DB Dalton Jordan. He makes a house call. Pick 6 on the 2nd play from scrimmage. Waynesfield Goshen goes up 7-0. Later in the 1st quarter, quarterback Drew Bradigan rolls right, and he finds Jace Kaufman. He makes a man miss and rolls his way across the goal line for the score. Tigers go up 13-zip. And Bradigan wasn't just leading the offense. He shows his skills on defense, making the tip drill interception for the Tigers to halt the Eden drive. Waynesfield would lead 13-7 at halftime, but Eden makes the game-winning score with 4 seconds left, and Waynesfield Goshen comes up short, 34-27. As for LCC, we talked about them earlier. They're slated for a matchup with Crestview as the Knights make history tonight, the 3rd ever 15 seed to win a playoff game. And finally, a pair of opening round run-ins. Arlington gets the road upset over Antwerp, 27-20. Don't see it on your screen there. But avenging back-to-back loss in the opening round. Then Patrick Henry handles North Central 40-8, setting up the Patriots for a home battle with Arlington next week. Division 7 was electrifying, but there's plenty more where that came from. D2 features Lima Senior, the recently crowned TCL champs, plus highlights from 3 D6 games when football Friday night returns.
Welcome back. What a first year for head coach Bill Lawrence and the Lima Senior Spartans, soaring into the postseason, winners of 7 in a row, on their way to their first outright title since 1996. Tonight, the Toledo City League champions take on the Xenia Bucks, who are making their 5th consecutive playoff appearance, but the Spartans with some unfinished business. Second half, Spartans down 21-14 when Janias Hall takes it up the middle, moving the chains on the slide. The Spartan offense rolling. Same drive, first down. Hall, with plenty of time, connects with his receiver, Chance Sanders, who picks up the first down and more. Here come the Spartans. A couple plays later, Hall finds his 6'3" target, Xavier Garner, who fights for the touchdown. He'd eventually cross the line. Spartans take the lead back, 21-18. Moving ahead, Spartans down 24-21, but driving again as Hall finds Caden Hampton, who takes the pass down the sidelines into your living room. Spartans marching again, and don't worry, I'm okay. Couple plays later, Jalen Jones punches it in for the score. Spartans win 42-32. They move on to play Troy.
We're making a stop in Putnam County for a Division 6 showdown. Columbus Grove is a top seed in Region 22. Tonight, Coach Schaefer and his Dogs open up postseason play against Lakota Raiders. On the first drive of the game, Landon Best shovels it over to Trent Barraza, and the NWC Offensive Player of the Year takes off from there. He breaks away from several defenders, and this Bodog Jr. takes it all the way to the 7-yard line. That'll set up the first score of the game. Barraza takes the handoff and heads into the end zone. Grove leads 7-0. Later in the first, on 4th and 6, Bess is looking for an open man. He scrambles out of the pocket, and his pass connects with Kyle Hopkins for the 6. The 54-yard connection pushes the Bulldogs' lead to 14. And they're not done yet. Bess gives it out to Barraza, and that's an easy 1-yard rush. Columbus Grove wins 42-17. They'll play Black River back in Grove next Friday in the next round. Bluffton welcomes in former NWC foe Paulding into Harmon Field. The Pirates won last meeting against the Panthers 27-24 in 2020. who pick things up in the second quarter. Bluffton leads 28-0. Garrett Bogart hands it off to Landon Worcester, and the junior weaves in and out of trouble. The home team goes up 35-0. How about some defense? On third down, Brody Summers and Jacob Granger takes down the Paulding QB. Panthers turn the ball over on downs. Less than 3 to play in the half. Bogart fakes the first handoff. It will be Noah Bricker who gets the pigskin. He will find his way past the goal line for the score. And just like that, Bluffton now leads 42-0. And they keep the pressure on. In the closing seconds of the half, Bogart takes a snap. He heads to his right and finds Hayden Dirth, who finds the pay dirt. They go on to win 63-6, and they'll play Winford back at Harmon Field next week. The Anna Rockets hosted the Allen East Mustangs. The last time both teams met was back in 2021 in the third round of the tournament. In the third quarter, Anna leads 33-14. Alex Shappy hands the ball off to Zach Osborne, and the 1-yard score gives Anna a 26-point advantage. The Mustangs are trying to close the gap. Jackson Thompson decides to take it himself. It's now a 42-21 ball game. But the Rockets look to ground the Mustangs. Shappy connects with Noah Ofterhar for the TD. Anna wins 58-28. They move on to the quarterfinals to play Williamsburg on the road. And here's the rest of the Region 24 scores. Versailles makes quick work of Troy Christian with a 40-0 dub. Tigers will play Twin Valley South next week. Parkway Falls 37-23 on the road against Paint Valley, end their season with a 2-9 record.
Well, Ryan Montgomery and the Finley Trojans, another team on the rise, have won 8 of their last 9 games. In fact, their only 2 losses on the year, Anthony Wayne and Toledo Central Catholic, 18-2 combined record. Finley down 14-0 late in the first quarter. Montgomery finds Javante Hill, who cuts inside for a 10-yard touchdown, 14-7 game. Moving ahead, though, Finley now with great field position, still down 14-7. Montgomery with a design QB run up the middle to tie it up at 14. However, Finley would fall 36-35, ending their season in a heartbreaker. Well, still ahead on Football Friday night, 3 WBL teams were in action in the area. Big wins in Division III and Division IV after our second and final break.
Welcome back. Tonight's Division IV highlights feature St. Mary's. Up to this point, the Rough Riders season has been nothing short of storybook, winning their last 6 games after starting 0-4. Because of that, they were able to squeeze in a home playoff game this year, but they're faced with another 6-4 foe, Wauseon. However, St. Mary's is 4-1 against teams in Division IV and below this season, and they showed why tonight. Because in the second quarter, Rough Riders already up 28-0. Kevin Perry gets a big gain on first down, and that'll put St. Mary's into the red zone. Then, a few plays later, Dominic Osborne rushes it in for the touchdown. St. Mary's rolling into halftime with a 35-0 lead, and they'll finish business, defeating Wauseon 42-14 to take on Sandusky Perkins, the top seed in the region, next week. Other Division IV teams from our area tonight. Bath turns around a winless last year to make the playoffs this year. Their bout's cut short by Glenville, the reigning state champs. And Van Wert earns their 5th straight win, 48-30 over River Valley tonight. They'll head to the 3 seed Shelby next week. On to Division III now for a couple of WBL teams. First, Wapakoneta. The big win last week against Salina earned them tonight's home playoff game as well as a share of that league crown. The Red Hot Redskins look to continue their momentum against New Richmond. First quarter, in the red zone, Jace Nouse runs it straight up the middle for a Redskins TD. Wapak up 7-0 early. Then, after Redskins interception, it's second down on the opposing 14, and Jace Nouse jump cuts and accelerates his second TD of the game. Wapak up by 2 scores. 4 to go in the first quarter, and Caleb Moyer rolls out, and he's going to find Caden Page in the end zone. Wapak just runs away with this one, 63-21 over New Richmond.
The Salina Bulldogs also coming off a share of the WBL crown, earning a home game against Hillsboro. Salina's winning its season of the century with 8 victories in 2023. Salina cruising up 35-0 in the third when Parker Berkey takes the carry down the sideline. No one was catching him as he goes in for the score, extending the lead to 42-0, and the Dogs were barking. Fourth quarter now, and the run game was absolutely lethal. It was another long Bulldog run down the other sideline. This time, that play would set up yet another red zone trip for Salina, and the Dogs would cash in for another score. Salina rolls 49-7. They move on to play Trotwood Madison. As for Wapakoneta, they had a chance for a WBL rematch with the lineup, but the Bulldogs season ends tonight 17-0 against Butler. The Redskins travel there next week. Checking out the rest of the D3 scores from Region 10, Defiance defeats Bay 14-7. They're headed to take on the #1 team in all of D3, Toledo Central Catholic. Then in Region 11, Bellefontaine wins big over John Glenn 49-7, and they're matched up with London next week. To Coldwater, where the Cavaliers' only loss came to powerhouse Marion Local, finishing with an impressive 9-1 record, taking on Indian Lake. They had 6 more wins in 2023 than 2022. First quarter, Braylon Blockberger looking downfield and connects deep with Mason Welsh for the air raid score, and the Cavs were just getting warmed up. Again, Blockberger goes to the air, this time far side of the field. Braylon Harlemer, who taps his feet inbounds for the touchdown, and then the exclamation point. Harlemer weaves in and out for the score. Another touchdown. They roll 47-0. They move on to play Archbold.
We got one more Division 5 showdown over in the Flag City as the Liberty Bend Eagles bow the Highland fighting Scots. It's a tie game in the third. Mason Ma on the quarterback keeper makes it a 14-7 game. Same score in the third. The Eagles attempt a 34-yard field goal, and that shot is good. Unfortunately, LB bows out of the first round of the tournament with a 21-17 loss. Our final score from Division 5, Spencerville falls to Edison. 48-0 is the final.
And that's how we wrap up our 11th edition of Football Friday Night, an action-packed one and always thank you to everyone out there and everyone back there that helps us get this show on the air, guys.
Unbelievable night. What an action-packed night. Just so many teams, so many great moments, great plays, just amazing upsets as well.
One thing that really sticks out for me, yeah, the MAC teams tonight. New Bremen on the road, upset. St. Henry on the road, upset. I mean, I believe there's 5-6 MAC teams still in for the second week of playoff action. That's a conference right there.
How about Lima Senior, too, guys? Moving on, it was a big year for them, and Coach Bill Lawrence, he gets a win. We're going to see them again next week.
Yeah, very exciting.
And don't forget to tune in tomorrow. We have plenty more local action from cross country, high school soccer. Once again, thank you for tuning in. And don't forget, you can also watch your Ohio State Buckeyes in action against Wisconsin.
Have a good weekend, everybody.